We have breaking news right now. Columbia police are investigating a gunshots fired call.
It happened at 2505 Carnation Drive, which is just north of I-70 on the city's west side. It's north of the mall. ABC 17's Evan Millward is joining us live at the scene.
Evan, we understand there was the scene of a Super Bowl party?
Oh yeah, a sergeant out here just minutes ago told me this was basically a Super Bowl party that went south. Around 9:10 today, there was reports of a fight. Neighbors tell us that they heard a fight, then heard a couple, 3 shots coming from this house with the porch light on. Behind you, you can see cops are still here. They say no one was injured here, but they did find evidence that there were shots fired. They won't tell us exactly what that means, whether that's shell casings or bullet holes in any of these homes, but we do know no one was hurt. We also know that one person is being detained. Now, it's important. The sergeant told me detained, not arrested, but they say they are not looking for suspects in this. They know everyone involved, and they think they have found everyone involved with this case. Cops are finishing up the investigation out here right now. We're going to work to get some more information for you coming up after Brooklyn 99 over on Fox 22 KQFX. Until then, we're live in North Columbia. Evan Millward, ABC 17 News.
Evan, thank you for that report. Right now, we're going to tell you about some of the road conditions that are going on here. We'll do that in just a moment, but we're seeing some ice still built up, and that storm within the next 48 hours, it's going to get worse.
Mid-Missouri will get only a small break before snow and dangerous Arctic air is returning. ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray has details in her weather headline. Sharon.
That's right. We are going to see another winter storm moving in, and this one hits us on Tuesday. Anywhere from 3 inches of snow. That's in our southern counties near the lake, and up to 8 inches if you live up toward Moberly and Macon. That's where we'll see the highest totals. Bitterly cold air moves in behind this storm. Temperatures at night dropping below 0 here Wednesday night, and during the day only in the teens to near 20 both days. Snow chances return. We could see more measurable snow coming up by Friday and Saturday of this week. Right now we are at 11 degrees in Columbia. It's only 18 at the lake and 13 at Jefferson City. These temperatures are going to continue to fall tonight, and it's going to be very cold as you head out the door in the morning with single-digit lows tonight. Look for 4 degrees in the early morning tomorrow. By lunchtime, we're up to 22. Now, although we only have a small breeze here, that 4 degrees is going to feel like 5 below if you happen to be out in the wind tomorrow. And you can see the temperatures stay pretty cold, only making it to 28 in the afternoon with increasing clouds. So here are the forecast lows for tonight. 4 at Columbia, 6 tonight at Sedalia, to 9 at the Lake of the Ozarks. Very cold temperatures with 6 degrees in Jefferson City overnight. Light northeast winds, and then we'll see the sunshine tomorrow for the first part of the day. Clouds continue to clear from west to east. We still have some clouds lingering in our southeast counties tonight. Those will continue to pull to the east, and we'll see some sunshine to start the day tomorrow. Our next storm system out here is going to be tracking in our direction. This low pressure, that's our winter storm for Tuesday. As it passes to our south, it is going to bring some snow. So for tomorrow, here's what you can expect for the start of your work week. Temperatures anywhere from 27 for a high at Moberly, and at Sweet Springs 29 to 30 at Tipton through California. Columbia, a high of only 29 tomorrow. That's the highest we'll see. 30 at Jeff City to 28 at Centralia, and Mexico and Montgomery City 29. The Lake of the Ozarks hitting only 33 tomorrow. It's going to be a pretty cold day all across mid-Missouri, and we will have increasing clouds with that next storm system approaching. Coming up in my next weather at 10:19, I am going to show you future track of this storm, an hourly look, and an idea of how much snow we're going to get from it. I'll have that with Snow Tracker in 10 minutes. In the next 7 days, lots happening here. We have a dry day tomorrow. The snow moves in early Tuesday and out early Wednesday morning. That leaves us with dry weather but very cold Thursday. Another chance of light snow Friday, and we could be talking about another winter storm by Saturday this upcoming weekend. Joey?
All right, Sharon, thank you very much. Right now, the Missouri Highway Patrol is investigating a deadly car crash outside of Warrenton, Missouri. Troopers say a single car went off the side of the road, killing a Wright City man. Troopers are now looking for the car's driver who left the scene. We're told they did not give a description. According to MoDOT, several highways are still partially covered from the weekend's ice and snow. Highway 63 north of Columbia and most roads between Warsaw, Sedalia, and Jefferson City are still not all clear. Columbia Public Works crews report all streets have been treated with salt, but an 8-person crew is still inspecting, looking for slick spots. They'll be on the roads overnight, watching for refreezing as well. Icy roads are forcing schools to close or use snow routes tomorrow. Dozens of districts are affected. For a complete list, go to abc17news.com. We have been putting them online and on the air. The list is also available on our ABC 17 News mobile app.
A Callaway County man suffered burns after his home caught fire tonight.
I grabbed whatever I could find and it was on fire, and it caught me on fire. And I'm alive thanks to my neighbor Russell.
McDonald tried putting out the fire at his home in the Green Meadows Trailer Park. It's just west of Fulton and Highway 54. Firefighters got the fire under control, limiting the damage to the kitchen. Now, the owner says the oven shorted, causing the fire. Over the course of our newscast tonight, a drunk driving crash will turn fatal somewhere in this country. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says Super Bowl Sunday continues to be one of the most dangerous for drivers. As ABC 17's Jillian Fertig talked with police already patrolling streets and cab drivers prepping for a busy night tonight.
Taxi drivers and bar owners I talked to are urging everyone going out to watch the game or going to a Super Bowl party to plan a sober ride home in advance. Taxi drivers say reserving a ride in advance will help people avoid long wait times at the end of the night.
It's considered one of the highest drunk driving nights of the year. People gearing up for the Super Bowl parties with food and alcohol. Local taxi companies and bar owners say they want everyone to enjoy the Super Bowl, but also have a warning.
Make a decision before you drink. Either have a designated driver or, make a reservation with a taxi or just be patient and wait for a taxi.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 43% of all traffic fatalities on Super Bowl Sunday are caused by drunk driving. That's compared with 31% of traffic fatalities for the year as a whole. Terry Nickerson with Taxi Terry's in Columbia stresses the importance of a sober driver, especially tonight.
It's very, very important because, especially with the weather being, what it is now, there's still some ice and spots out there, and the roads are still slippery. So it's very important, to have a designated driver anytime.
Nickerson says reserving a cab ahead of time can eliminate long wait times. He also says it only takes one mistake to ruin the fun that the Super Bowl brings.
The main thing is you don't want to ruin it by, going out getting a DWI or hurting somebody. So the main thing is just don't drink and drive.
Nickerson tells me his taxi company will have extra drivers out tonight. And again, no matter how people plan on getting home, he says it's very important that the plans are made before the drinking begins.
Well, shoppers planning for Super Bowl Sunday flocked to stores today, but so did residents bracing for this week's winter storm.
Tonight, ABC 17's Evan Millward shows us how the perfect storm made this a super Sunday for some area businesses.
Got any big plans for the Super Bowl? We were really slammed right before the ice hit, and I imagine that'll happen again.
A grocery store is busy when Super Bowl Sunday may be the calm before the storm, literally.
I'm tracking a winter storm, which is going to bring several inches of snow across the area Tuesday.
And we live out in the country, so we're getting prepped for the snowstorm that's coming.
This couple lives in a house divided.
Well, I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan. I realize I'm wearing a jersey that is a team he no longer plays for, but I figured the sentiment is the same, so I'm cheering for the Broncos. He's cheering for the Seahawks.
But they agree on one thing: cold winter nights. They need to be prepared, and they aren't alone.
I'm to the bare bones, pretty much, so I was kind of scraping by yesterday. I have obviously grapefruit. I have to have all the fruit.
We have some potatoes, cereal, bread, and
empty coffee cup. Those are great.
And the most critical thing, which is chocolate.
Yep.
A Super Bowl Sunday scramble when these aisles seem calmer than they will come Tuesday.
Everything okay today?
Now, most of the stores we checked with tonight say they have the essentials, and they say they don't expect the snow rush to pick up again until right before it's forecast by Sharon to hit.
Well, in case you missed the score of the Super Bowl, we'll give that to you coming up in highlights. Plus, juveniles sentenced to life without parole in Missouri could get their sentences changed if a law passes.
We're back in a moment.
You're watching ABC 17 News at 10 in high definition on KMIZ, where the news comes first. With Meredith Amos, Joey Parker, Austin Kim, and Stormtrack Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray.
Well, the University of Missouri system reports calls are up to its ethics hotline.
Officials say calls jumped from 39 to 74 in 2012 and 2013. Now, the complaints vary from unfair or inappropriate treatment toward employees to billing complaints. Most are from MU Health employees. Only 4 are currently under investigation. Officials say the growth is due, though, to the recent promotion of that hotline.
In state news, the U.S. Supreme Court says sentences for 83 Missourians serving life without parole are unconstitutional because they were juveniles when the crimes occurred. Now a state senator wants to grant them a new sentencing hearing. The legislation would give 16-year-olds and older a 50-year minimum sentence, those younger 35 years. Cancer patients are asking Missouri legislators also to lower the cost of chemotherapy pills. Right now, insurance companies charge cancer patients more for chemotherapy drugs in pill form than intravenous treatments. The reason? It's a pharmacy benefit instead of a medical benefit. 27 states currently have a similar law requiring equal coverage.
3 people are dead after a pair of cell phone towers collapsed. The towers came down shortly before noon yesterday in Clarksburg, West Virginia. 2 contractors were tethered to a 300-foot tower when the structure collapsed. They were killed right away. A second smaller tower collapsed minutes later, killing a firefighter. Other workers were sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. It was a deadly Sunday for a church in Florida after an elderly woman backed into a crowd, killing 3 people.
It happened just south of Tampa in Bradenton as people congregated outside a church after services ended.
The lady who died, I knew her. I just talked to her a few minutes earlier, and she died just seconds later.
Investigators say the driver ended up in a canal. 1 person died at the scene, the 2 others at the hospital. 5 more were injured. The driver and her husband were okay. No word on possible charges.
Well, our next winter storm will be here Tuesday, and we are going to see over a half a foot of snow in parts of mid-Missouri. I'll have the timing of this snow with your local Future Track and a look at Snow Tracker next.
If news is happening where you live, we want to hear from you. Call the ABC 17 newsroom at 573-449-1700 or log on to abc17news.com.
We have a pretty cold night out there tonight. The skies are clearing and temperatures are dropping. 11 degrees right now in Columbia. Joe Mockins, BMW. That wind chill has been dropping. That 44 is not correct. The wind chill is more like 1 above 0. This is an erroneous wind reading there, probably due to the ice which has been gathering on some of our weather cams out there from the ice storm this past weekend. Well, tomorrow we are going to see some sunshine, but it's still going to be quite cold. Temperatures tomorrow only making it into the upper 20s. At the Lake of the Ozarks, though, you'll make it to about 32 degrees, but overall another cold day. We start with some sunshine in the morning, and then we'll pick up the clouds through the afternoon. Those will be increasing ahead of our next storm system, and the wind chill readings anywhere from near 0 or 1 at 8 in the morning, and those wind chills will make it into the 20s in the afternoon. So pretty cold weather tomorrow. There's that batch of cold air that's going to be pulling to the east over the next couple of days, and then our next batch of Arctic air that moves in behind our storm system that comes in Tuesday, and this is the one that's going to be dropping in to make it even colder here Wednesday and Thursday. Here's the storm system we're talking about, bringing much needed rain to the west. That's going to be moving into our area. By Tuesday morning, we'll start to see snow developing. Latest Future Track is right here. This is starting at 7 o'clock Tuesday morning with temperatures in the teens and low 20s. Watch the snow as it comes in from the west as we start to see a little bit by early morning Tuesday, spreading into our northern counties. Notice this little dry area right here. It may take a while if you live south and east before you start to get the snow Tuesday. There may be an area that has much less snowfall because of that dry slot. Nevertheless, we all start to see that snow filling in by Tuesday evening and overnight. The heaviest amounts are going to be in our northern counties. There's going to be a band of much heavier snow to the north. That'll continue through Tuesday evening. As we head overnight Tuesday, it lightens up and pulls off to the east and starts to end early Wednesday. We'll still have a few light snow showers around early Wednesday, but we're not going to see anything heavy by then. Now, as far as amounts, and this will probably change a little bit, but here is an idea. It's 2 to 4 inches, and I kept this line of 4 inches very close to Columbia. It could wobble either way, but you can see we're right on the edge of 4 to 6 as you head north of Interstate 70, 2 to 4 as you go south, and that 6 to 8 to the north around Highway 24 and out to the west, where we could see some pretty good snow totals up here. An idea with Future Track. These are some of the numbers that Future Track is pumping out on this storm system, and this will likely change. Please stick with us here the next couple of days. We'll continue to update this, but right now it's showing about between 4 and 5 in Columbia, closer to 3 at Jeff City, 2 to 3 at the lake, and you can see up toward Moberly and Paris, 7 to 8 inches. There could even be some locally higher totals as you head up toward Highway 36. So the next 7 days, well, boy, keep the snow shovels handy and the very warm clothing. It is going to be some wintry week here in mid-Missouri. Columbia looking for 29 tomorrow, but Wednesday and Thursday we stay in the teens, and nighttime lows will be below 0 Wednesday night. That's snow Tuesday, and again light snow possible Friday, and next Saturday keeping a close eye on yet what could be another winter storm. So we'll watch that. It's not a done deal yet, but something to watch. And you can see the Lake of the Ozarks here just as cold. Not tomorrow, not too bad, 33. But gee, that 15 will make up for it by Thursday. So we'll continue to have updates. Join meteorologist Justin Abraham tomorrow morning. He'll be here with a new snow tracker.
And the ice isn't going anywhere either, right?
No, it's not.
No, this isn't going to be fun this week.
No.
Mid-Missouri, meet February.
Yes, a very active first 2 weeks of February, by the way.
All right,
Thanks, Sharon.
All right.
The Olympics start in a matter of days, and there's word tonight Russia isn't quite ready.
An important building is still under construction in Sochi. The Olympic Committee's plan after the break.
One of the big national stories today, critically acclaimed actor Philip Seymour Hoffman has died.
The 46-year-old Academy Award winner was found dead inside his New York City apartment today. No official cause of death has been given, but it is believed the actor died of an apparent drug overdose. Hoffman won the Oscar for his lead role in Capote. The Winter Olympics start in less than a week, and hotels in Sochi remain unfinished. 6 of the 9 are still under construction. The International Olympic Committee says visitors affected will be transferred to another hotel.
2 hand grenades detonate inside a Pakistan movie theater, killing 3 people today. Dozens of others were injured. Roughly 100 people were inside the Peshawar City Cinema. The death toll could rise as some are critically injured. No word on who's responsible yet.
And coming up in sports, a Super Bowl shocker in New Jersey as Richard Sherman and the Seattle Seahawks back up all the talk from 2 weeks ago. And speaking of shockers, that's what Mizzou women's basketball is trying to pull off over in Columbia, South Carolina. All that and more up next. Welcome back. Plenty of sports to get to, but first we need to welcome in our viewers from Fox 22 KQFX. You are watching ABC 17 News at 10. Well, it is the greatest unofficial American holiday, Super Bowl Sunday. Millions sit on their couch, play armchair quarterback, and nitpick every detail of the entire spectacle. What's more American than that? And this year's Super Bowl, by the way, falls on Groundhog's Day. What does it mean? I don't know, so let's just get to the highlights. Now, NFL legend Joe Namath was on hand to do the coin toss today. He flips it up, but he forgets to ask Seattle what they call. Thankfully, the ref was there to make everything go well. Joe, at least you were rocking the fur coat there, man. Hey, first play from scrimmage. Denver center Manny Ramirez snaps it over Peyton Manning's head. That is a safety, so Seattle goes on top 2-0. And that's just the beginning. Look at this. Malcolm Smith intercepts that Peyton Manning pass, and he's going to take it all the way in for a pick six, 22-0 Seattle. It is shocking at this point, but it gets even more shocking. Look at Percy Harvin. You're not supposed to kick it to him, and this is why. 87 yards to the house. This is the first play of the second half, by the way. He was injured in the last game, but came back, and boy, did he make an impact today for Seattle as Peyton Manning feels like he's not going to get his second Super Bowl trophy. And look at this. This is Jermaine Kearse. My goodness, Seattle having its way, and Pete Carroll gets a nice dose of Gatorade. It is cold, but it is all worth it as Seattle wins 43-8. One of the biggest Super Bowl blowouts in history. Peyton Manning finished with 280 yards passing, 1 TD, but he did have those 2 interceptions. Russell Wilson, the second-year quarterback, was absolutely sensational. 208 yards, 2 TDs, nothing spectacular, but nonetheless, he did a great job of managing the team. Let's hear from the champs.
Yeah, you know what's pretty cool about it is Malcolm's 7th-round pick. Doug Baldwin scores, free agent. Jermaine Kerr scores, free agent. I think that's something to say about John Schneider and the work that he's done to bring our talent together. You know, we have guys all over the roster that played really well that are not high draft picks, but guys that really performed at a really high level, and that's because the vision that John could see when he put it together came through, and these guys believed in getting it done and worked really hard to get here. We tried to do a little bit of everything, but mostly we played football the way we know how to play. We played our style of ball. We didn't change anything for this game. We didn't make up any new calls. We didn't change any defenses or pressures or anything. We put our guys in situations to play like they really were comfortable with, and learned how they were playing, and we got great play out of everybody.
First time in franchise history, we brought it home. Not only a big win, but we put it down. We played great football, defensively, offensively. Special teams showed up. We just balled. I mean, we got a touchdown on special teams, defense, and a couple on offense. It doesn't get any better than that. And for all the people who called us average, mediocre, take that.
Those Seattle Seahawks are pretty quiet during the post-game interviews, huh? Well, here's some quick hitters for you. This was a 35-point blowout, time for the 3rd largest blowout in Super Bowl history. Ironically, the largest blowout was the 1990 when the Niners scored 55 on the Broncos in January of 1990, and Seattle coach Pete Carroll joins Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer as the only coaches to win a Super Bowl and a national championship in college. Finally, Denver quarterback Peyton Manning now has 12 playoff losses, the most by a quarterback in the NFL. Well, back home, let's move to basketball, and don't know how much of the big game Frank Haith got to watch today, but the Tigers will face another national power on Tuesday when they travel to Florida. The Gators allowed a stunning 36 points to Texas A&M yesterday. Yes, that's good defense right there. Meanwhile, Mizzou went toe-to-toe with number 11 Kentucky yesterday, eventually losing. Jabari Brown had a sensational day, scoring 33 points, including that highlight reel dunk you just saw. But Florida has just as much star power, and the quick turnaround will be a great test for Coach Haith and the Tigers.
You know, I think the things we got to take from this game is that, you still can compete, and you're going to play a team that they were right with us. I mean, they competed too. I think John will say, I don't know what John was in, but I thought his team fought as hard as I've seen them fought all year. Watching them on tape, I thought they came after us, and I mean, they drove the ball, and they were very, very aggressive, and they were on their game. So I think two teams just went at it, and hopefully we can grow from it and play that way come Tuesday and see what happens.
Staying with hoops now, Mizzou women's basketball at number 7, South Carolina today. Here's Bree Koulis from the top of the key singing the three-pointer. And then more from the Tigers, Leanna Doty to Koulis inside. She had 21 on the day. And then Koulis also showing off her passing ability. Morgan Ayew has been sensational of late. However, the Tigers fall short to the Gamecocks today, losing 78-62, now 3-6 in the conference. Now some golf now, the Waste Management Phoenix Open here on 17. Kevin Stadler will sink the birdie putt to tie Bubba Watson as the co-leader. And here he could actually take the lead with this putt on 18, but it's just off the mark. Now Bubba Watson would have to make this par shot to force a playoff. And he just misses that one. He says, yeah, it went that way. Not the way he wanted, as Kevin Stadler is your PGA Waste Management Phoenix Open champion. Golf is in full swing. Pitchers and catchers report in 2 weeks. So warmer weather coming up now that the Super Bowl is in the books right now. So, yeah, Super Bowl in the books. And now we can focus on some warmer thoughts.
Because that's what we're going to need over the next 2 weeks.
That's exactly right. And unfortunately, when we get back with Sharon, she's not going to have that in the forecast.
No, and she's up next. Thanks, Austin.
A cold day tomorrow. Temperatures in the morning will be in the single digits, making it to the upper 20s in the afternoon. Snow moves in early Tuesday, moves out early Wednesday, leaving us very cold for the middle of the week.
Thank you, Sharon.
And thank you for joining us, Fox 22 viewers. We will join you over at Fox 22 for continued news.